Halloween, one of the only days around the year when we can dress up as scary as we want to be and go around collecting infinite amounts of sweets for free. From haunted castles to ghost towns, these natural and supernatural places continue haunting all year round. Today, I present to you 10 of the most scariest places on earth where you do not want to go for sure. Number 10. Bran Castle in Bran, Romania. Bran Castle, also known as Dracula's Castle, is a landmark in Romania. Bran Castle is often associated with fictional vampire Count Dracula. The Romanian castle resembles Castle Dracula as described in Bram Stoker's novel Dracula, in that they both stand on rocky cliffs and command spectacular views. But Stoker, an Irish writer, is not known to ever have visited Transylvania. Moreover, Vlad III Dracula is most closely identified with Stoker's Dracula, who never ruled Bran Castle, although some sources claim that he was held prisoner there for 2 months. Oh my god, that was way too many Draculas. Anyways, moving on to number 9, village of Nagaro in Japan. As villages grow older, more young people migrate, causing a growing population. Artist Iona Tuskimi reported back to her hometown to find a lessened local population. In response, she created lifestyle dolls to place around the village to give a sense of life. Tuskimi made her first scarecrow 19 years ago to frighten off the birds pecking at her seeds in the garden. The life-size straw doll resembled her father, so she'd made more, and then she couldn't stop. There's at least 350 toy citizens now inhabiting the village. Number 8. The Door to Hell in Turkmenistan. The so-called Door to Hell is the result of a natural gas field that collapsed into an underground cavern in 1971. Geologists reportedly set it on fire to curb the spread of methane gas, but it still continues to burn till this day. And you can see where the name came from. It's a literal hole in the ground that's burning. Number 7. Sedlikossuary in Czech Republic. The Sedlikossuary is a Roman Catholic chapel. It is estimated to have the skeletons of at least 40,000 people. This chapel was sprayed with holy water underneath it, and everyone wanted to be there. So they decided to take all their bones and use it for decoration. As sane as they might have thought it was, this is one of the most insane things that could ever be done. Those people's bodies are used as decoration for the chapel. Yep, this is exactly why I said you do not want to go there. Number 6. The Hanging Coffins of Sagara in Sagara, Philippines. The hanging coffins are just a few of the cliffside burials in the entire world. The tombs in Philippines follow an ancient funeral custom that entombs the deceased in coffins attached to the side of the cliffs. Ancient literature suggests that the coffin's placements show how rich or poor the person is, while others say that it might just be to prevent animals from reaching to the body, or because it just simply didn't take up valuable farm space for the burials. The Sagara people have practiced such burials for over 2,000 years, and some of the coffins are well over centuries old. Number 5. Old Shanghai Hospital. You can simply not have the most haunted list without at least one old sanitarium, a Japanese prisoner camp during the Second World War. Today, the crumbling corridors are overrun by shrubs and weeds, and now there are so-called shadow people. In 2010, a camera crew filmed a found footage on hospitals' hauntings, while in 2017 a viral video claimed to show a ghostly nurse with a ghost baby in her arms. The conditions were horrible in these prison camps. Once they killed their prisoners, they staked their heads on metal spears as a warning to others. The hospital had been reopened a few years ago to be rebuilt, but strangely enough, it was never built. The person who originally was going to build it just left it, and it's still there. Number 4. Chateau de Bruxelles in France. This medieval manor is situated in the Loire Valley. To visit the chateau is to enter the realm of the Green Lady, a victim of a gruesome murder said to have occurred during the 15th century. Some visitors have apparently seen her ghost in the tower room of the chapel, with a corpse-like visage missing both eyes and nose. The tallest castle in all of France is not put off by the paranormal. It makes a lovely afternoon out, and most of the tourists go there. Now to visit somewhere much closer to home. Number 3. Hellfire Club in Dublin, Ireland. There's your run-of-the-mill haunted house with creaking floorboards and old legends. And then there's Hellfire Club, a hunting lodge where Satan worshippers were said to have summoned a goat demon on a hilltop by the moon of the light. I know, some crazy insane stuff we're talking about here. Built in 1725 on top of and with rocks from a Neolithic tomb, the lodge was frequented by Illuminati-adjacent groups of Dublin-based elites who engaged in all manner of cultic practices. Out of all the ghosts, my favorite is by far the black cat, the size of a wolf, with horns instead of ears. Now a weather-beaten down, hollowed out hut with earthy floors and moss-coated walls, it's popular with brave rambles plotting a path through the Dublin hills. Number 2. The Banff Springs Hotel in Canada. This is personally my favorite. A near-carbon copy of The Creepy Hotel from The Shining, a book by Stephen King, inspired by his own stay there. In 1926, after a small fire broke out, it was discovered that a small room was mistakenly built with no doors or windows. Not even the hotel owners knew about it. Legend has it that there has been some supernatural visitors too, the most famous being the doomed bride, who is said to have tumbled to her death down the grand staircase on what was supposed to be her wedding day in the 1930s. Apparently guests have reported seeing her ghostly figure gliding through the corridors and dancing longingly in the ballroom. In room 873, a family was murdered. They then renovated the room, but creepy stories came up from the visitors, so they boarded it up again. It is said that room 875 is bigger as it is combined with room 873. Now for the grand finale, the last one. Number 1. The Island of Dolls in Mexico. It might sound particularly weird episode of Scooby-Doo, but there's nothing cuddly about this deserted place in Mexico. The island's former property owner peppered it with dolls, all now in varying states of decay, apparently to ward off the ghost of a drowned girl tormenting him with footsteps, whispers, and wails. Some limbless and some headless, most of them swinging from trees. Dolls are now far more scarier than any spirits or ghosts. Later on, the man has been reported to have died of insanity. The island is only accessible by boat, but I bet you it's not a place you want to go. That was the 10 most scariest and creepy things I have brought to you today. Have a safe and spooky Halloween. Don't get possessed by any demons while you're at it.